the teachers and how to bring value, and or why do you need this topic at all? Yani, is it necessary that a teacher has to build herself some kind of value, or some uh, standards for herself or himself? Okay, I see in this session, let me tell you, this teacher training programs, these BEds, and all these things, they will talk about the technicalities of your profession, yani how to deliver, and what will be the best way, and what are the methodologies involved in this, and many more such things. And today, apart from this, we'll talk something about for the personality development, or about the personal issues in the field, or in this profession of teaching. I see the things which are already known or established, uh, we will not go in detail. For example, the teacher must not say negative words to the students, or she must not use the abusive language, or shout at the students, sometimes beating, and all these things, the common uh, things which are already known. Uh, Apart from that, see, there are certain uh, techniques of getting the focus or the attention of the class. Like, for example, the teacher sitting at one place on a chair with a book will not make an interesting class for the teacher, for the students. Okay, so the teacher has to be moving around in the class, and she must not hold the book in her hand. Instead, she can keep the book at some place as a reference. She can use the book. Not she must read out the passages, paragraphs involved in that. She can only look into it as a reference point. And the basics fundas, which are generally, that every teacher for the better communication and performance has to use, like the teacher has to say a very loud and clear to the student. The pronunciation has to be clear. I remember that Telugu pronunciation in my schooling times. One of the teacher was not clear. That is the reason we used to make spelling mistakes in Telugu. So that is a very important point. If you are not clear, then the way students will listen, they will do it. Apart from this, the main point, let me tell you, the teacher will use her facial expressions, the body language while moving around. All these things are attention grabbers. Apart from this, why do you need attention grab? Why do you need the attention of the students? That is because it must not happen that the student's mind is present, sorry, body is present and mind is absent. Means the student is present physically, but mentally the student is roaming around somewhere else, uh, with some points of his interest. So the teacher has to grab the attention of the children with her voice modulation, as well as the moving around, as well as using her body language, facial expressions, and many more things. Now we'll come to the very important point and the topic which we are in today. That is creating value for the teacher. Teacher needs to create value for herself or himself. See, what does I mean by creating value for himself or herself? That is, The teacher needs to create a demand in the class or in that school. How, what is the example that the teacher has created demand? That is, if a class, suppose grade 7, is having a free time and given a choice, whom do you want? Whom do you want to complete this free period? Then the students must demand that we need this particular teacher. So that is how you'll have to perform that the students will ask for you. The students will be happy with you when you are in class. How you can achieve that one? There are basic things, and what I say now is a common things which are not just valid for your class, as well as it is valid for your personal life as well. Many things what I'm telling you that will be valid everywhere. For example, I say that when you get into the class, you have to perform or behave happily. You must not uh, be in a stressful mood. See, that will reflect automatically in your class. And believe me, Yani, you might have been given 10 tasks to complete today, and you see the list and you immediately you become stressful because what is this? A lot of load has been given on me. How I can do this? Or maybe you think that all the work is given to me only, other staff members are not as heavily loaded as me, or things, many things like that, which will make you more stressful. The first thing what you have to do is you have to relax. You might have got 10 tasks. Might be you cannot complete all the 10 today, or you might complete today. Whatever it is, the scenario, live it. You start doing or completing these tasks happily one by one. See, when you're doing things happily, like I said before, also the productivity will increase as well as you will be happy performing yourself. And that also reflects immediately when the children see that you are doing certain things happily, and they will also be involved with same enthusiasm. And like I say, Yani, it is not limited to only the classroom. Even in your home or in your in-laws or anywhere, wherever you get this kind of situation wherein you have been assigned 10 tasks and you feel that you are overloaded or you cannot complete, no problem. You start performing happily. Maybe you complete only 7 tasks, but still the management will feel that yes, she could not complete two more or three more, but whatever she has done in the best way. So the feeling what the management or your in-laws or your whoever is there, they will get a feeling that as if you have completed all the 10. Or at least they will think, okay, she has tried the best, but could not complete today. Maybe she will complete tomorrow. No problem. So the stressful situation will not be there with you as well as the one who is taking work from you. But instead, if you are performing stressfully and running after sometimes I say syllabus or sometimes whatever the things assigned to you and in a stressful manner in the given time, how I can complete all these 10, what is this? Or you try to complete all the 10 and finally at the end of the day you complete 10 but in a stressful manner, in a hurry manner or whatever it is, even though you completed all the 10, but your management will still feel that the impact is not that much. Somehow she has completed with any unintentionally she has done or something like that. that appears automatically. So the same thing will also happen when at your in-laws place also. Any when you do things stressfully with banging things or banging the table, banging the books, that, this, and all, the impact which need to happen will not happen, even though you completed all the 10 tasks given to you, but still the management will not be happy or your friends will not be happy with you. That is because with the stress you are done and that automatically appears. So uh, listen, whatever is the load or the stress you are getting, you don't take it. You just start doing things happily. Maybe your productivity will increase and maybe you will complete all 10 tasks also. I'm not telling every time you will not complete. You will complete, no issues. But the thing is, when you do things happily, that impact will be there everywhere with your students, with yourself, as well as with the management with which you are staying there. So the first point is you do things, whatever is happily. Similarly, when a good standard teacher comes into the class, many times you'll realize that without saying a word, out of respect, out of some good value you have in the student's heart, they will automatically will be in discipline. This is what I say that every teacher need to create. Here, the best part is it becomes prevention is better than cure. Prevention is better than cure. How? See, if the child doesn't have good value for you, maybe he will do some mischief in the class, then you need to shout at him or you need to warn several times. Then you might need to even give some kind of punishment and all those things. Now, since you are a respectable person in the child's heart, or even in the management, or even in your colleagues and staff, so these situations many times they will be avoided automatically, which means that you need not make some extra efforts which are required to be done otherwise. So the prevention is better than cure. One more thing I will say that when you have taken some responsibilities, you have to complete whether someone is watching, someone is following or not following. That is your responsibility. You have taken up. So you need not wait or try to do some kind of show off that when someone is watching, then you'll start performing. Otherwise, you'll become slow or you'll become irresponsible. This is not fair. This will again, it will affect in your uh, personal value. So whether someone is watching or not watching, you have taken up the responsibility. You do the best possible, and if required, you might take the help of your seniors, of your management, and whatever it is, and all will be very happy to support you when you are in a when there is a requirement for you. Similarly, I will tell you that when you get into the class, the general thumb rule, not only in class, even in the institution you are there, or maybe even at your home or the in-laws you are staying with, or the friends, whoever it is, what you give to others, that will return back to you. If you give a happy feeling, if you give a good mood, if you deliver the very good atmosphere, then the students will respond in the similar way. They will return back you the happiness you have given to them. That is a very important point for any teacher to be in the school. See, many things you might think that what I'm telling is okay, known facts. Yes, known facts might be there. Sometimes we do neglect all these things, which is that is the reason we need to listen again and again so that we will not neglect. Apart from this, the most important point is every teacher must be aware of herself or himself. Self awareness is a very important point. Now, what do I mean by self awareness? Self awareness means that you must be very much aware of your potential, of your strength, and as well as your weakness. Maybe some teacher has a weakness that she gets easily irritated with some negative talk or some student jumping in the class or in any class. So if you are aware that you get irritated, you get angry very easily with some mischief like that, then you must be in control. When you are aware of the point, then it becomes easier for you to control that point. Similarly, the strength which you are having, which you are good at, if you are aware on those things, then when you enter into a class, you can emphasize or you can utilize those tools or the abilities in which you are good at. The same thing is valid in your friend circle as well as in your uh, relations, in laws, wherever it is. If you know that with these things you get very easily irritated or get angry, then you must be cautious or be on alert that, okay, now the situation is going out of my hand. Either I need to skip or escape out of this situation, or I have to be in control and be patient. This is a very important aspect for the any person, for the teacher as well as anyone else. Similarly, why we are discussing all these things, the most important thing what I say is that also you people might be knowing the way the teacher is the similar way your students will be. If the teacher is a very serious person, then the students who follow you will also become in the same way. Now, why this happens? This is because teacher is a role model for most of the students. Like I say everywhere, that the students' parents might be big professors, might be big research, doctorates, learned person. But if a teacher teaches some question answer in a maybe some silly mistake or whatever it is, the child will learn the same way. And even if their parents object, the child will reply that my teacher has taught in this way, because that is the respect, that is the value teacher has. So what I say is you need to maintain that respect, that value, by giving the correct thing, by focusing on your responsibility, by avoiding such situations wherein the parent might come and say to the management that certain things has happened. See, in general, what I say that the teacher must create a value, a demand for herself that if the management want to give certain kind of responsibility, the management has all the stuff in their hand, but they will select out of one or two on whom the management can depend on whom the management can fully have faith that if I give this responsibility to this staff, then definitely that staff will do. And I can forget on that topic because that lady will complete without uh, anyone following up or whatever the task is assigned. That is because whatever you have done wholeheartedly, you have done with responsibility. You have already performed in the school. So even the parents will realize many a points that what the staff is uh, giving to their children, or how their child is gaining from that staff. So the parents will also come and try to meet on priority first this teacher, then the other teachers. So this is where you will realize that you are creating demand for yourself, a positive feeling in the parents as well as in the students. Students many times they take teachers as their role model. So the teacher, the way they have their mood, their intensity, their attitude, uh, their approach, the same thing will be uh, delivered or will come in the student. If the teacher is escaping or telling lies, then trying to do some maladjustments, or this is a regular behavior, her nature, then such a staffer, very few students will like, or even the management will not like. So many times you might can be doing very good things, and everything you're performing well. Sometimes there might be some mistakes out of ignorance or out of some bad situations. In that case, you don't do a maladjustment, or you try to escape, or you try to defend that. Instead, you clearly believe you can clearly take that responsibility. Yes, this mistake happened maybe out of ignorance or out of some bad situation wherein you were in a hurry and that thing happened. So if you take that straight on responsibility on you, that will give you a good feeling, and even for the management, they can be more reliable on you. Instead, if you start defending, doing maladjustment, then more questions will arise, and you'll be in a more bad situation. This will automatically devalue you, so you don't get into such bad situations. The basic funda here is the teacher must have all the good characters that you want to develop in your students. Then only the role model you are for the students, then they will gain all those things. That is the reason why I emphasize on the teachers, uh, their performance, their ability, or what I say is upgrade the value of the teacher. Like I say that the students must be always waiting for your class. It do happen. It might have happened with you one or two times or many times or every time. That's the best thing. So you need to perform or have a value with your students in such a way that the students must be waiting for the students must be waiting for your class. They must be waiting for your class. Okay, now this teacher will come, and we all will be more than happy, and we will have a very different environment, not like the teacher went the before class. So that kind of demand you need to create. See why I am telling this. It will start with your student, and it will automatically start reflecting with your management, with all the stakeholders involved in this education system, also the parents or whoever it is, even the external companies which they come to serve your school, they will also realize, and in fact, in your absence, they will inform the management. Yes, these one, two, three teachers are very good and they have done their best. So this kind of value, when you create in your institution, automatically, I say to a higher level that even the other institutions will start focusing on this kind of stuff. Maybe sometimes they might send you message indirectly or indirectly to join their other institutions also. That kind of demand, that kind of value you need to create. And it is not a very difficult thing. It is not that you will do something yani, which is uncommon. No, you will do you only your job, you will do only your responsibility, but you do it in a happy way with responsibility, with good ethics and morals. This will reflect everywhere, and this will have bring high value to you. And in fact, tomorrow when you are going maybe out for some odd reasons, which is unavoidable, that school will doesn't want to leave you, the students doesn't want to leave you. There are situations you might be knowing when you wanted to leave that school, there are students who came crying to you. That is the impact I want every staff to have in that school. Maybe when you go tomorrow for an appraisal with the management, beforehand, the management must be ready that, okay, these staffers, one, two, three, we need to make an increment this new year. I think I don't know how many of you remember that when Shankardar Sharma he went to Oman, the king of Oman he received the president at the airport, and then he drove his car. Yani, the king of Oman became a driver for our president. It is not he valued as a president there, he valued him as a teacher for him when he was studying when in India. So that is the respect you need to demand or achieve all the life of your student. Whenever they think about good memories, then you must be one of them in their good memories. This way, you will not only do justice to your job and responsibility which is given to you, you will also have a good value with your students, with your management for the whole lifetime. Even the management will remember that, okay, in those years, back 5 years back, there were one or two teachers who were very good, brought name to our school, because of which many parents were happy and given a very positive feedback. This is what every teacher must create in the school. See, when another very good thing when you create value for you happens is that everyone will respect you. Maybe some mischievous child might be angry with you, but out of respect, he will not behave the way he would behave in other classes or with the other teachers. Even some bad student who gives back answers to many of the staffers, but he will value you and respect you. And this is yani, this is not a very difficult thing to achieve. You just complete your responsibility, your duties wholeheartedly with a very good, happy mood, and you value your students in the same way. You don't see them as a troublesome children for you. Of course, they might trouble you at one or two of them, or maybe at one or 2 points, but still on in overall you need to see them as good students, as students who wanted to get something from you. Here I want to tell you one more thing. that every time you get into the class, you need not teach in every class. You need not follow your lesson plan every day. Sometimes, in one or two situations wherein you find your students are not in a mood to learn or not in a mood to go by the academics which you are teaching regularly, no problem. You don't try to make the situation in a stressful manner wherein the children are not in a mood, the whole class has a different mood, but you want to emphasize your lesson plans or syllabus which is scheduled for today. No problem. You that day you can skip that one. Instead, you can sit with the children, speak to them informally. No problem. You can ask them, okay, who is your uh, mm, Yani, what is your best food, or what is your mother which cooks the best food for you, you like? Or you can ask last week on the holiday, where did you went out, or who visited your place? The children will be more happy to say all these things. But in this process also, what you're giving them chance is, maybe you can ask them your best friend or whatever it is. You're giving a chance for them to say story or to narrate something about some personality, or build a story from start to end. Still, there will be some kind of teaching going on, but in a different mood, in a different way. So there are likewise, there are n number of things which you might also see personally uh, on the internet, or with the trainers you get, or the tutors you have in your school, counselors who are helping the teachers there. See, one point here I want to say is that when you are aware of your personal strengths and weakness, you try to work on your weakness and to improve on them. This will make you a better person everywhere. See, the whole point and the whole purpose of this talk is to make a better person in you, because a better person in you will reflect in as a better student of you. Means a good student will come out of good teachers. I can end on this statement. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity once again, and uh, listening to me, everybody here. So, as every week, I say that if there are any questions or maybe any situation where you have found it, in spite of all your strengths, all your good moods, still there might have come such a situation wherein what to do in this. If there is such a case, you can please ask me now. Is
Questions
there,
are
is
welcome.
there any questions?
As usual, since the concepts are very clear, they may not be having. And
That is
our
very nice. You have good
set of features.
yes, good set of teachers, and in fact, you people are having regular these classes like this, so they are also gaining lot from different speakers and improving themselves. I'm sure about this.
Many of them are they themselves very great orators, teachers.
Very
Uh,
nice.
mm.
Yeah,
and sir, we know that teachers fill a complex set of roles which vary from one society to another and from one educational level to another. So our teachers are very fit to fill this complex set of roles. So sir has explained how to increase our value. We have to increase our value itself. Then only we will be good in the eyes of the students, and then only we will rise in the eyes of the society also. and that will earn a place in the heart of the management also. So we we teachers have to be very very strict in developing ourselves and having our status increased so that all look at us with honor. So sir has explained all these things to us. So we teachers will be following it. Thank you, Jazakallah, Janab Naveed Sahab, for sharing so many beautiful things, practical things to us, and we will follow them. Again, tomorrow we will be having very great speakers. All are invited Sunday morning, inshallah. With this, the program ends. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallahumma bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.